Welcome friends, followers and transients to our first look at Ostriv. I've had kind of access to this game for a while now in the pre-alpha stage. I haven't had that much time to play it, but as you can see we're currently on Alpha 1 and Patch 2. So this is an 18th century city building game. A lot of people are calling it like the Banished 2. There's been a lot of games that have been tagged Banished 2, but I guess from a difficulty point of view and the challenge, I guess this game isn't far off with that regard. I'm going to jump straight into the game and I'll just kind of talk as we're playing. At the moment there is 3 maps that we can choose from. I'm just going to pick the first one and jump straight in. As you can see, the game loads instantaneously, which is super quick. It's unbelievable. We do have various things lingering around. I've not got that far in the game yet to understand if we can kind of mine all these rocks, but the water realism is unbelievable. In fact, the game is quite beautiful for such an early game. If you think it's just in Alpha 1 at the moment, so there is definitely a lot of promise. So it kind of gives you a few tips to start off with. So it's telling me to build a forestry, should I say, because without that we're going to grind to a halt pretty quickly. You can rotate buildings with the R and the T key. Buildings tend to have an entrance as well, so bear that in mind where you are placing it, because the easier access that the people have, the better, especially when they've got to kind of walk a distance. Obviously travel times will affect how quickly things happen. I think that's kind of straightforward really. This game's been in development since 2014 by a sole developer, again kind of like Banished. The guy is from the Ukraine. I'm going to try and pronounce his name and I really apologise if I butcher it, but it looks like Yevgeny. I'll put it down here somewhere so you can read it. I have a feeling I've probably really have pronounced it very wrong. The game isn't on Steam as it stands. You can buy the game directly from ostrivgame.com. I believe that's powered by the Humble Bundle website. But I think this is definitely one to watch, whether you buy it now, whether you wait until it gets on Steam. I think if the game continues in the path that it's been going, it's definitely going to be a game worth picking up. On the website ostrivgame.com, there's also a roadmap that tells you everything the developer is planning on doing. It's quite an extensive list, but he's looking at things like adding a campaign, a better UI. I actually don't mind the UI so much, it's quite clean. Modding support, which is always something that is definitely needed with these sort of games. More sound effects and music. As you can tell, there's no music, and the sound effects are very limited at this point, so I kind of get that, but that's just a few different things. But you know, I recommend going and checking that out yourself. What it doesn't really warn you about when you're first starting this is that you need to build houses to replace the tents that we have dotted around town before winter hits. If you don't, all your people will leave. And it doesn't warn you about that. There is a readme file and there is some information in there, but it's just something to bear in mind. If you pick this up and you're like me, you don't really read those things instantaneously. So yeah, just a quick pointer there. It is quite difficult, and it does remind me of Banished. When I first played Banished, I sucked. I could not survive, and it just literally, if I made it through the first winter, I was really happy with myself. And this game kind of has that feel, and no doubt I'm going to mess this up. We're going to put a clay pit down here somewhere. I think this is an instant build. Some buildings build instantly and some don't. So at the moment we're building the sawmill, and we're going to build 2 houses. They build them in order of what's going on up here. So at the moment, forestry is what they're going to work on first. They will transfer all the materials here and build it. If materials are missing, they will go for the next building that they can build, and kind of like that. You can move these around just by dragging them, but I do want the forestry built first. As you can see, there's various bits of information going on here. So how much materials we're waiting, what they've currently got stored for the building, who's bringing the materials across, and who's actually building it. So all the names are Ukrainian by the looks of it. There is a file that can be edited. I've not tried changing anybody's names, but I believe you could probably change the people's names if you wanted to. There's several, I think 100 entries, so it would take quite a while if you wanted to replace them all. But yeah, it kind of is in there, which is which is fairly cool. Just looking at the details, we can't zoom in any closer, unfortunately. I think graphics, or improvement of graphics, was something on his list, but I think it's quite charming. I think that the character details maybe could do it a little bit more, but if you can't really zoom in that far, I don't think you need to. I'll assume this is some kind of traditional 18th century Ukrainian dress wear, seeing as that's where Yevgeny's from. I'd assume that that's the basis that he's going for, because I don't really recognise it. It doesn't look familiar to me. I just love it. We've got all these little carts coming along. This is something I always wanted in Banished, that people to pull carts or have a donkey or something like that. It seems they are limited to how many they've got though. There is currently 3 in here, so they can only use 3. So I'm assuming maybe they can't move goods if all 3 of them are being used. I think the other thing about this game, which I also find interesting, it is realistic to the time period as well. So as you can see at the moment, you've got all these women sat around the campfire, and all the men are working, because females do female jobs and males do male jobs, which sounds really bad, but I guess, you know, that's really realistic to the game itself. I think we should just speed the game up just a little bit. I find the mouse a little bit sensitive. I mean, I've got one of those mice where you can kind of tweak the speed of things, but it is fairly sensitive when moving around. So we've got our total resources up here at the moment. So water is coming from the well. So you see we've got stored, it's automatically storing water and it's filling up, but as they take it away, that will drop. We've got quite a lot of clay. We've got some iron, we've got some nails. Wood and thatch are 2 of the things we've got the least amount of. And I think we need thatch for the houses. Yes, we do. So you can see they're bringing the clay across now. So even though that building's not finished, it probably has all its materials, so they instantaneously start bringing the next thing along that they need, which is awesome. So we need to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses before winter hits. Or as close to that as possible, because if we don't, we're going to lose people. So thatchery gathers and dries reeds for roof thatching. Now some of these buildings have help things on them, as you can see. So you can click on those and it gives you a little bit of information about the building and how it works, which is quite useful. So even though there isn't a tutorial, there is some information going on here. Now this says it gathers reeds, so from my point of view, you want to be placing this near the water, not that there's many reeds showing up. I don't know if, I mean, that is reeds, I guess. Well, let's have a look, because I don't think there was an actual bit of information there to help us. But if we plonk you somewhere here, that will probably be a fairly good spot. You'll also notice at the moment there's no roads, and I can't actually build roads. But what will happen is, as they walk backwards and forwards, they will wear the ground down with their feet. So you can see the ground is already starting to wear out a little bit here, but the more they kind of wander that path, the roads will suddenly start to appear, which is a really cool feature. Does it tell me how much food I've got? It doesn't. So we have 4 vacancies. Looking for job 8, 1 man, 6 women, so it does tell you all that information. Migration status, water supply is poor, no market, no housing available, but there is jobs. Interesting. I've never really looked at that before. Why is the water supply so poor? Potentially we're going to need another well at some point. Unless there's irrigation. Education, health and religion are all on the roadmap, so it's something we haven't got yet. Not sure what the town hall does. Unlocks more ways to control your town, so I guess probably taxes and that sort of stuff. We've got a granary trading post. Okay, this stuff seems to be car parking. Holds to 4 carts. This one has 3, I think. So that's obviously an upgraded building. We have a fishing dock. It'd help if I knew how much food we have. What have we got here? Okay, your storage. What have you got? Oh, the camp centre. We have a mayor. Yuri. So where is the food being stored? Oh, they store the food within their houses. I see. Okay. I'd have thought that a bit. I suppose we haven't got a granary yet, have we? Right, we need to assign some workers to this because I'm slacking and not realising what I'm doing. I did read somewhere that 3 workers are the minimum. I think you can get away with 2, but I think you need 3. So that's probably why everything has ground to a halt, because I'm talking away, not paying attention. So what are the goals for this series? And I say that with dittos. Because the game is in alpha, and it is only 1 person working, so I guess updates are not going to be fast and furious. We'll probably get 3, maybe 4 episodes before I would say that things start to dry up a little bit. So what I'll do then is I will focus purely on updates. So when an update drops, if there's something worth talking about in there, I will make a video and we'll go through all the new features, and we'll continue that way. So it would almost feel like the series is on pause, maybe for weeks, months, depending on how often content comes out. But I will keep coming back to it and keep you guys updated. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and keep an eye out for extra content. Okay, we've got this house coming in. This is one of the things I really like about this game, is they literally take each individual piece of resource and put it in. I do find the hammering is really kind of irritating at this stage, but sounds is something that have not been worked on fully yet. But you've even got like the fireplace. You can't go inside. I wonder if at any point maybe a view of inside the house will be something that he looks into adding to the game. So what are we currently waiting for? Oh, we're just waiting for someone to finish it. That has all the resources it needs as well. So build houses for all families in the camp. We're currently in April, so we've got to be careful, because as soon as that snow hits, we will lose everybody. Here we go. So, this is making firewood as well. So production limits. Is this based on how many people I've got working? Quite possibly. I don't know if these trees grow back or whether we have to plant them. I've not seen... Because you've got logs, wood and firewood, but there's nothing in there about replanting trees. Oh, we have a house. Awesome. And this is the Fumayuk family. Wow, these names are super difficult. The other thing you'll notice is when I place this building down, the fence, in fact we'll place another house. The fence kind of stretches and warps to the house that's next to it. As you can see, like that. You don't have to have it doing that. You can move the house a little bit further away. But if you're trying to link the houses up a little bit, it does look quite cool. I don't want to build them too far away from here, because again, we're talking about walking distances. And as you can see, the roads are starting to materialize where they're walking. Let's place one. We'll probably be able to get a few over here, actually. I think it says as well, if I actually read, if you hold the shift, you can place multiple buildings. Oh, hold Alt to disable snapping, so you can turn that off. That is quite cool. So we'll hold the shift key. We'll get 3 here, that's 4 and 5. We'll let them catch up with those. I don't see, because this is the first time I've really properly played the game. I've dabbled in and out of it, like I said. I've had access for a while. I don't think we're going to save all of our families. Food is going to be another thing we're going to need. How are we doing for things like nails? Okay. We do have them, and we do have the ability to make them. I'm guessing we've got enough thatch though, haven't we? Where are we? Thatch. Oh no, we're running out of thatch. That is going to become a problem then. Wonderful. What are we working on here? The thatchery. So we're working on more than one building. So the thatchery is the next thing they're going to do. And I guess that makes a lot of sense, because we do need thatch for the buildings. Does it tell you if you hover over it? No. But it tells me here. So we need 3. We currently have 6. So assuming that has all its thatch, which it does, we can do another 2 buildings before we require this to provide for us, which is pretty cool. So here we go. We have the fence. It's linked up. It doesn't, I mean, I thought there was only one model for the houses, but it appears there's more than one. I don't think you can rotate them. I think it just kind of randomly places them down. But as you can see, there's 2 distinct models there, which is quite nice. The look and feel of the game is actually really good. I'm really impressed, considering he's been doing this on his own. I can only imagine the time and brain power that actually goes into something like this. Even with engines like Unity and things, I still think it must be difficult. I mean, I don't even know what engine this game's built in. I'm assuming he's not made his own engine. But it might be a question I'll have to ask him at some point. I probably will spend a little bit of time having a conversation and see if I can find out some extra information for you guys and maybe add that into an episode. Right, we need someone in here. I don't know how many workers we need, so I'm just going to put one person, although it says hiring. So that means we haven't got anybody. No market. Water supply is sufficient. Well, that's changed. Okay, it's almost full. So that really doesn't have anyone in. I'm guessing once they run out of materials, somebody may go over there. I'll assume again it's probably a man that we need, because it doesn't tell me. Tell you he's currently living in here. Oh, there we go. The mother is unemployed and the father, even though they don't have any children, at least not that it's listing anyway. Oh, there we go. They have a child and they have a son, which is kind of awesome because we need more men. I don't know how long it takes them to grow up. They're already 2 years old, but I don't know if they were born. Let me have a quick look in here. Oh yeah. So this one here, we've got Vlad here. He's 6, so I guess you don't need a house to actually have children. As you can see, the 2 tents that were here have now gone, so they pack up their tents when they move into a house, which is an awesome feature. Ah, there we go. We have Yuri. He's now working over here because we need thatch. Awesome. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are we in? We're in May. We're going to need food. Now, I think it's too late in the season for me to be trying to do any kind of farming. So for me, that leaves the fishing dock. And we can probably place that down here quite nicely if it'll let me. Are you going to play nicely? There we go. Oh, there we go. So he's gone and collected some reeds. So he must have been collecting all the way over here. So the position of this building is pretty poor, because this is the area that he's actually working from. So he's having to walk all the way down there to get some. So that's going to slow production down. But as everything in my town is here, it's a bit of a difficult kind of situation, because if he needs water, he's going to have to walk to town anyway. If he needs food, so that's not great for us. And there is no reeds. I mean, there's reeds on this side, so that sucks a little bit. We're not in a kind of an ideal position, I suppose, for that. But we're going to have to live with it, as long as we're getting some thatch coming through. And he did have a bunch of reeds. So there's 1 thatch currently stored here. How much have we actually got at the moment? We've got 7. So he has produced some. Maybe it is just that one. Oh no, because this has already had its thatch, maybe. Awaiting, stored. It doesn't really say. Interesting. Okay, let's whack the speed up a little bit more. As you can see, we're starting to get this pathway down here as well now, even though he's not walking down there constantly. Ah, there we go. So 0.2 of a thatch awaiting, and 0.2 of reeds, 1.8 thatch, 2 thatch. Ah, so that's as he's producing the material. I see. That makes a lot of sense. It is like, it feels a little bit barren. It's kind of weird how the trees are just dropped around. I mean, I kind of get it, but it feels slightly unnatural. As pretty as it is, it just, I mean, if I'm down here, it's not so bad. I guess it's because these trees, all the leaves are up the top, so you don't get all the foliage and stuff that you would usually get. Awesome. So we have another house. That means another tent is now gone. Yep. And they're building this one super quick. I think they've got everything they need. Awesome. And we're currently in May, so the fishery is sat there. No one's going to work on that just yet because of the houses are being done first. So he is literally walking all the way down here. Yikes, that is a long distance. I mean, he is moving fairly quick, although the game is on a super quick speed. Have we had any children in here yet? Nope. They have wealth. Okay. I'm not sure what that depicts. Maybe it doesn't depict anything at this stage. That's kind of a good thing to have noticed. If we mark another house here, we need someone closer there so they don't have to go too far to get home. So, it's like 4, 5, 6. Oh god, we need so many houses. I think we'll just mark another one on the end there. And we could probably, if we... Can we do something? Maybe I don't like that. Is it Alt? Hold Alt to disable snapping. I'm not too sure how I want to position this. He looks a bit odd. I kind of want a gap there. Oh, there we go. So they can walk through there should they need to. But we are slowly but surely getting there. I'm glad the fishing dock is being done next. The food situation concerns me because it's not really giving me the information that I believe I need. I mean, I can see there is food and water within the houses, but I don't know how quickly they're using the food and that sort of vital information. Oh, there's definitely lots of models. Look at some of these. This one's really nice. They've even got a little tree in their garden. Now, see this little thing here, this little orangey thing on the post. I believe, does that mean they've just had a child or she's pregnant? It means something. As you can see, they're not on all of them. I think it means that the woman is with child, maybe. Something like that. It is like a pot, isn't it? We'll keep an eye on that. At the moment, there's no children, although they're fairly old, I would say, to be having children. Not in modern standards, but for the 18th century, I would say they were getting on in years. Okay, the fishing dock is being done. How are we doing for thatch? 2.6. Awesome. Was it 2 or 3 we needed per house? 3. Okay, we are slowly getting there. But we're in June, so we're at the beginning of summer. Hopefully we get everyone in. I'm not sure what the women do. I'm not sure what jobs. Maybe weavers or something like that. I don't know. Farm hands? It seems, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we have everything we need here. Unemployed, construction. You see, all the women are unemployed. Which is kind of an odd thing when you think about it. I get, my goodness, that was mad. I get times were different back then, and I suppose women were more kind of a stay-at-home, look after the children sort of situation, but would you have women just sat around doing nothing when work is to be done? It just makes no sense. You'd use everybody available, wouldn't you? I think, I mean, that's maybe more modern thinking, I suppose. Okay, so we have you. 12.92, 13. So the richest people are going to be the family that have been in here for the longest, which we can clearly see. You're awaiting some wood. Awesome. And the game keeps auto-saving, which is nice. We got 4 thatch, which means we should be able to cover this house. I think we might actually manage to keep most of the families. Whether we stop them from starving to death is a completely different thing. I'm not too sure if that will be the case or not. But things are coming together quite nicely. What are we waiting for over here? Nothing. It's just a case of who's building it. Alexi? Wow. I'm going to have to brush up on my Ukrainian pronunciations, I think. It's brilliant. It's one thing I love about games like this. It does really make you think about stuff. And it kind of opens your mind to different stuff. It does. Yeah, these trees are being cleared out. Now you can place different trees, but I don't know if these just come up as decorations. So I don't know if it makes a difference whether or not they will chop these trees down once they fully grow. There is benches and things like that too, I think. Yep, place to take a rest. And you can't place them within the building's confines, but you can place them nearby. And as you can see, they're quite happy to sit down, or should I say float, on the logs by the campfire here. There is a man sat there. Maybe he's just, he's had a hard day and he's just relaxing. He's probably the person that was working on this. Quite possibly. So Thatch and Reed, 20 and 20. What was he? I need to mess with this to see if that makes a difference. Not that we've really got the people, but you can see we got a lot of buildings kind of half finished. That's waiting 1 thatch, so we're not producing enough thatch. Let me chuck another person in there if there is somebody. So there's nobody working in there constantly at the moment. So we are a little bit short on workers. They have a son of 2 years, which is still the same. Vlad is now 7. Okay, so in the same year he's aged, so at least we know it's not a realistic year when it comes to aging. That's always good to know. I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble. I don't think we're going to manage to get everyone in a home in time. Can't find thatch anywhere, because this guy's not working hard enough. We're about to have a thatch. There, got 1 reed waiting and a 0.8 of thatch reserved. So they will actually take... Yeah, so it doesn't need to be a whole of a unit for them to take it. That's kind of an interesting thing. I thought they would only take whole numbers, but clearly not. I want to... kind of want to get this finished. That only needs a 0.2. Can we... We can pause this. Yes. So hopefully the next bit of thatch will come into this house. Fingers crossed. So someone's come in with a cart. They're taking it here. There we go. So that's now waiting for someone to come along and finish that. Oh no, they're still waiting more thatch. Oh, that sucks. Oh, what's going on here? Are they moving the... Have they took the thatch from here? They have. Huh. So because I paused that building, they've removed the resources that were there and took them to a different place. That is super cool. And there's one of those little things again. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that, but I did read it was something to do with children. Not that this place has any child at this point. So what we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 1 more. We might actually just about make it. I'm wondering if we should put one kind of over here somewhere, although maybe here anyway, because it'd be right next to the thatchery. Is that what it's called? It is, yeah. It's getting... they've got 2 people in here, so that is still at 20 and 20. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to upgrade buildings or not. That'll be an interesting thing to see. Let's continue this. Although I kind of want the houses, but again, food worries me. I guess I'm just kind of one of those sort of people who panic. The fact is that I just don't know what's going on, and I don't like that. It's a lack of knowledge. Like, how much food have we got? I can see they have stuff, but it doesn't really tell me at what point they're going to start starving, which is really, really, really scary. Okay, that's producing a little bit more now. I'm not too sure how this works. I've not really wrapped my head around that, if I'm honest with you. Okay. How close are we to actually finishing this off? Can't find thatch anywhere. You're waiting for wood and thatch. You are not doing anything as it stands. I'd like to actually, if possible, get to the winter before the end of this episode and see if we actually manage to give everyone a house, and then that will give me a little bit of focus for the next episode. It's probably going to be working on farms and stuff like that, but it'll also give you guys a chance to give me a little bit of information. Let me know what you think. I know there's plenty of videos on YouTube. I know there's quite a few people I've been testing the game out there, so I'm pretty sure there's a wealth of ideas and knowledge to be kind of tapped into. How are we getting on here? Okay, so you've taken all that. Are you coming over here with it? You certainly are. Is that all we need? Looking for builders. Okay. That takes an immense amount. How much thatch does that take? Let's have a look. The fishing dock takes 10. So it's currently got 7.6. This takes, I think, is it 3 for a house? It is. So that needs another 1. So we're kind of almost there. There we go. So that, hopefully, if the 1 is taken, unless somebody already did it, I think somebody maybe had. Was I missing that? They started building the roof. Oh, this is going to be close. I'm going to be so chuffed with myself, though, if we manage to get all the houses in. It doesn't kind of look pretty at the moment, but I want the houses as close to older production buildings as possible, and as we kind of expand I will kind of dot houses around a little bit more, but at this stage it was just a case of survival, and that's the only thing that's really kind of on my mind at this stage. 9.4, so we're almost there. Oh, we've got enough. So unless the thatch gets stolen for this house, we may be onto a winner. We're waiting for a cart, I guess. Oh no, all 3 carts are up there. So we're looking for a labourer, which should grab the cart, hopefully. If anyone is willing. Everyone has gone home for a rest. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Where are you going? Ah, you're going to get some wood. Where are you going? Can I click on you and... show path. Awesome. I didn't even know that was there. So, there we go. We can see exactly where he's going. How useful is that? That is a super cool thing. So now, hopefully, that's just looking for a builder. Then we'll have the ability to fish. So that'll be some source of food. And with any luck, 3.8. So we have enough thatch for this. So that is just looking for a builder. So we're literally waiting for 2 builders. And we're in November. Oh, the leaves are starting to drop off the trees. Look. They are as well. Yep. Autumn is coming. Although not on these trees. I guess not every tree drops their leaves. Even the reeds have gone a dirty shade of brown, haven't they? Oh, we have a fishery though. So boat. Oh, do we need a boat to make this work? Surely someone could just stand here and fish. And I guess that answers my question about women. I guess women don't fish either. I can probably reduce 1 worker on here now, can I? Right click you. Hopefully, yep, somebody's coming here to fish. Let's have a look. He's gone inside. Why not? No boats for fishing. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Well, the house is going to get built, so do we need boats as well? Boatyard. Produces fishing boats on small trading boats. Huh. Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. What does that building actually require? I didn't actually look at that. Wood and nails. 134 nails. Nails. Oh, that's quite a lot. We're probably going to have to produce our own nails at some point. That would be the smithy, which requires nails. So I guess we should pause you a second. Yeah, I think we should build the smithy first. Oh, that kind of sucks a little bit, doesn't it? Why would you build you? I think up in town a little bit. Let's have a look. I guess there's no doors on the back, so it probably will kind of be something like this. Haha. Yes, without a doubt. Let me demolish this for a second. Can't demolish. Building not implemented yet. Oh, well, I'm hoping somebody comes and takes the nails from there. If that is the case. Everyone has a home though. All the trees have dropped their leaves, as we can see, which is kind of pretty looking. And here comes the snow, and everybody has a home. How wonderful. I wasn't sure if we'd actually be able to do it, but we've managed to. And wow, it's so pretty. I like the snow. I'm quite happy with that. I am really happy with that. Anyway, let me know what you think of the game in the comments. I know there's a few mixed opinions on this already, but I'd always appreciate your opinion and any kind of hints and tips. But on that note, thank you very much for watching. But until next time, as always, take care.